visible, everyone?
It's coming up, Pavan. Yeah, it came up.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. So here we have certain questions where we can we have these questions which was asked in big companies like Google, ESPN, and as shown earlier. So what we have done, we have created a database, okay, and we are trying to use that database. In this particular database, I have certain tables which are relevant, okay, so which are relevant for the questions. So what we'll be focusing upon is the problem solving approach and how to approach the problem and solve the problem gradually. Let us understand the first problem. Okay. The question is find the top three most common letters across all the words from both the tables. What are those tables? These are these are the tables. Okay. Let me execute. Okay. If you see here, so these are the tables, right? We have some contents. We have some file name. And similarly, other table we have some words and some words too. Words one and words two. Right. So these are two different tables having two columns each. Right. What they want top three most common letters right across all words from both the tables. They just mentioned ignore file name column. Okay. Is the question clear, everyone? Okay. Look, if it would be good if someone could respond yes or no.
Yeah, I could see.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So what is the output that we want? Output the letter along with the number of occurrences and the order records in descending order based upon the number of occurrences. Right. So for this particular question, there could be multiple approaches. One of the better approach would be using a cross apply for the for the length of the text so that we can extract each character from them and then we can filter the characters and then normalize it and join all those values which are present and then like using set operators and then we can find out the value, right? So let us understand and approach accordingly. So first what we'll do is we see the tables, right? What we'll do is we'll try to find the substrings, right? Suppose I'll write select, right? What we want, something called substring, right? And expression is contents expression, right? And I'll take the position as n where length is one character. Okay, I'll call it as something called letter, right? From which table? Google file store table, right? Okay, so we'll mention what is n in the condition, but again you can understand it will be applicable when we try to cross apply. Okay, so you'll be able to understand gradually. There is a master table database which we'll be using, which is called as master dot. I'll show the table once. Select dot, select star from master dot dbo dot spt underscore values. This is a you could say system related, master database related table where we have certain values, right? We have certain name, number, type, its low, high, and status related thing. So we'll be using this table in order to extract the data in the way we want. Okay, so we'll see how we can approach that. Okay, so here after writing this select this thing, okay, to normalize this particular substring which we would be extracting, we can change it to uppercase. Let me first in do that and then I'll show you. Okay, so I'll try to write what cross apply, right? I can write cross apply, right? I'll write select. We want top records, right? So I'll write top. In this, what we'll provide? We'll take the length of the contents. Okay, length of contents, and then what we'll do is we'll apply the row number thing. Okay, why we do this? I'll just show you once we get the output. Then you'll be able to understand, right? I'll use something called row number, which is a window function. Okay, we need not input anything. We'll use over clause. Okay, in which I don't want to order by anything. So what I can do is, in such situations, I can write something called select null. Okay. Okay, so we can select this. SQL is case insensitive, so do not mind about that capital or small. You can write in any way. I'm just writing naturally. So this thing, you can just close this, and you can call it as something called n. Okay, so this is where, from this particular cross apply thing, where I'm taking the substring, right? So that is why I'm just give the start position as n. Okay, based upon the row number, you'll be able to get it. Okay, from which table? From, I just mentioned the table name, right? This particular table. So I hope, like, if at all you understand cross apply, I believe you will be able to understand. The left table, it will be our normal table. Right table will be our function, right? So that is where you will be using cross apply, and you can just take this particular master.dbo.spo values as something called numbers or something like that, right? Okay, so I'll just close the parenthesis. Okay, cross apply, we have closed it, and then what we can call it as numbers, right? Now suppose if I just select and execute it, you can see the content, which whatever we had, you can see that this is a sample. Like this, will be able to bring the content vertically with single alphabet. Okay, so how are we able to do it? With the help of our master table, which is present, and based upon the row number which is available, we are trying to, right, do the cross apply and then bring the substring. So to normalize, some letters might be capital, it may be small. But to normalize, what we can do is, we can change all the things, all the substrings to uppercase. Right, so we can close the parenthesis here, and this is how I'll be able to write this particular select clause, and like this initial clause. And here I have some condition to put. What is the condition to put? Where n less than equal to something like length of, right, the same thing, right, which is contents, and we'll write a condition substring whatever we have provided over there. Okay, so like what? Between a to z, right? So you can understand that n must be less than the length of contents, and the substring must be like within the alphabets, right? So if we try to execute this, you'll be able to understand that this particular thing, it has been changed to uppercase, and there are no spaces in between, right? And directly from, like, all the content, whatever it is present in that contents, we are able to execute from each and every letter in a vertical manner, right? So this thing, it will be a part of our query where we wanted to get that. So in order to find the top three most common letters, so this is one particular column where we have worked on the contents, right? So what are the other columns? If I execute, we done it for the contents column, right? So we have to do the same for words 1 and words 2. Am I right? Is everyone able to follow so far? Can I get any quick yes if you are able to follow? Anyone? Abhishek, Rajkumar, Uday Kiran. Are you guys able to follow?
I'm not able to like fully follow like what does
Okay, so
this
what?
cross apply function does.
Okay, so let me like give you some example. Cross apply, right? Suppose like you can see it will be like it will be performing a inner join between a table and a table valued function or a correlated subquery. Okay, so you know joins, right, where we join
Mm-hmm.
table and a table. Similarly,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to join a table and a table valued function, so functions are of three different types. Okay, inline table valued functions, scalar functions, and multi-valued table valued functions. Okay, if you want to join table with a another function which is a table valued function, then you would be using this cross apply. If you want to do inner join, you will be using this cross apply. If you want to do some left join, what you would be using is outer apply. Okay, so further you can dive deeper and understand it so that you'll be able to debug, like understand better. Just as an example, we are trying to join a table with this particular function where it will be taking those values from that particular table and apply the function accordingly and join the respective values of the table,
So which
right?
function this is referring to? Which
So
function?
here it is referring to the window aggregation function for row number, where we are taking the values from this particular master table. Okay,
Okay, so basically top uh row numbers.
so just to take as a reference, okay, so I'm taking the content from the particular table. Okay, extracting from this contents, I'm taking the value. Okay, each value I want to take it dynamically. So to take it
Mm,
dynamically, I'm trying to inner join with another particular table which is already present in my database, master database.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
by using a window aggregation function, right? I did nothing, right? Just window aggregation function based upon contents. I'm just doing the inner join using the row number. This row number it will pick up and do the inner join, nothing else. So that what it does is it will help me to find all the value where values which are less than that less than or equal to particular that thing, and whatever the content has that particular substrings present in the alphabets. Okay, it will help me to properly align it based upon my row number, the values which are present, right? If I just do this, you can understand there will be these nulls, right?
mm-hmm,
So if I have that inner join to present, these nulls could be eliminated, and
mm-hmm,
manually if I do, I'll be encountering errors. Are you able to understand now?
mm-hmm. Okay,
Huh. Right, that is the reason why we could take this dynamic approach.
okay,
Okay, I hope it is
okay.
clear, right? So
Yeah.
now what we did is we just took from this particular two tables, we just made the thing possible only for contents column. So similarly, to make it possible for words column and words two column, what we can do is we can copy this. Okay, so I hope you guys know CTEs, right? Common table expressions. So what you can do is you can write with, okay, you can give some name. Let us give some good name to understand. What can we give? We can give CT1 only, or else um, give some good name. Or we are counting the letters, right? So we'll give something called letter counts. Okay, as okay. So this is my letter count CT. Next, what we'll be doing is I'll put a comma. Right. The same thing. What we'll be doing is we'll try to apply this for another. Create another CT. What is the another CT for words one, right? So like to do that, instead of creating another city, what we can do is we can try to union all, right? Combine the results. Why? Because all those results would be in the same thing. So what I'll do is union all, where I can use the set operator and join all the results because the data would be same, right? And this thing, I can just remove the parenthesis. Here instead of contents, what would I do? I would use words one, words one, right? And here also, instead of length of contents, I would write words 1. And other things it could be fine, I believe. Next, here we have write something called words 1. I don't require this parenthesis. Right, words 1, words 1. Okay. And this is from another table, right? What is the table name? Google word list. This is from a different list. So if you just try to execute it, okay, I will change this. Right now you are able to see that, the second table also I'm just able to change like that similarly, right? So if you union all, what happens? Both the tables, the same column will be appended, right? If you just execute this, the whole data will be appended, right? Total 162 values are there. Now suppose I can do another union all. Right. So what I can do, I can bring one more thing which is present related to the same thing, which is words 2, right? So I can paste it here. I can remove this. And here it is again Google word list, right? Instead of content, I'll write words 2. Okay. So the question might be complex, but again, if you are able to understand the logic, gradually you'll be able to develop the problem solving approach. Okay. So this is where we try to join all the individual letters, right, from the 3 different columns, and we are able to make it into a single CT, right? Now I can close the parenthesis. Here I can write a select clause. Can anyone tell me what should I write in select clause? Now it must be clear, right? If the question is clear, you can see I want top 3 most common letters. So all the common letters I brought into a single column, right? You can see that from different sentences, by using that query, I'm able to bring around 223 letters, right? Now can anyone tell me what would be the select clause? Anyone? I can write select. Okay. I can write top 3 letters. Okay, I have given the letter, right? I can put a comma, right? What I can do, I can count star, right? I can count it as occurrences, right? Occurrences from which table? From the CTE, right? What is the CTE? Letter counts. Okay, so we want to group by, right? What is the group by? Letter. One more thing is left. What is the order by? Occurrences in descending order. It was the it was the problem, right? So this thing will be executing it together. Now you can see these are the 3 letters. These are the occurrences. Right. Is it understandable? You can see this is a letter where we have taken, right? And I believe you'll be able to follow that. Do anyone have any query in this particular question? Anyone? Can you get a quick yes if you're able to understand? Uday, Hiteshi,
Yes, yes.
are you guys able to follow? But there is some error actually. Occurrences, it is not able to properly count. Mm, I think there is some kind of, issue with the output. I'm checking that. Mhm. Of course, this thing won't be any problem. Let us again run and see. Okay. Mm. Do you guys find any error? Anyone? Some minor mistake is there. Of course, the query is correct. Some minor mistakes might happen, right? Now, because in the output, if you see occurrences 1 1, it won't be 1 1, right? At least by the common understanding. Cross apply, select. Anyone? Are you able to find any kind of mistake here? So maybe he'll be able to help me debug, right? Okay. Descending order.
Descending, we have to write.
You see, at the end we missed it. Such minor mistakes happens. Good, good. Now we got the correct solution, right? So these are the three letters which occurred, most frequently in that particular content, and these are the number of occurrences, right? So this is one kind of question which was very tricky, but again, using these functions and using this, CT, all these things, set operators, we are able to resolve it, right? I hope it is understandable. Now, similarly, like this, there is one question. Of course, this is not so tough, but you can see some data. So there is some stats which are related to some, throw. Okay, longest throw may be related to sports. Okay, so they want to find the quarterback who threw the longest throw in 2016. So here we have 2016 values, some longest throw. We want the output, give the quarterback, which came, you know, they want the name along with the corresponding longest throw. So these are the different names in QB column. Okay, and they want in there is a column called LG, right, which contains the longest completion by the quarterback. So we need to play with only these two columns. Okay, other columns, if you don't understand, it is also fine. Year column, this column, and this column. Okay, so can anyone tell me how to do that? It is a easy question.
You calculate max, you can use the max
Uh,
LG.
right, Max. Can you write? I'll follow your solution. Can you tell me? I'll
So
follow
we
your
can
solution.
select.
Okay, select.
So max of LG will. So we just need to know the quarterback along with this. So we can say select QB.
Okay,
Uh, select QB comma LG from the table name where
Okay, I'll write QB as something called quarterback. Okay.
right,
Next is I want something called max of. You're correct. Now we want max of gone
LG.
LG. So now you tell me. Okay, I'll just take this LG as something called longest throw. Okay. From which table? This is my table name. Okay. Next. Next, what should I do?
We'll have to do a group by.
Okay. So group by any condition. Any other conditions? Of course, I'll write group
Where here is
group by cube. Group by QB. Okay. Okay. Where year
where
is
year
equal to
2016.
2016. Right. Good. Now, what is the other things? Any other thing left?
I think it is done.
Okay. So we need to order by also. We want longest, right?
Order by. Yes, yes.
Order by longest throw. Okay. Order by longest throw in descending order. And we want only the top one. Okay. The first one only we want, not all. So who longest throw, right? Only one member will be there, right? So I want top
Top one.
one. Now is it clear?
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll try to execute. We'll encounter an this answer, right? So it is a correct answer, and good that you are able to solve it. Can you try in any other approach?
We can also use her like select quarterback like QB comma LG where LG is equal to select maximum of LG like that.
Yeah, we
Huh.
can use ranking functions and then we can order.
Of course. Good that you know these things, guys. So what I'll do, I'll try to go for the other approach as well. Okay. So this is approach one. I hope you are able to understand. So I'll just go for the approach two. Okay. So in approach two, just as you guys said, we'll try to use that where condition. When you use where condition, you guys must use a subquery, right? You know that, right? So what we'll do,
Mhm.
select QB, comma, LG. This is what you want as longest row, right? And QB you can call it as quarterback. Okay. From which table? We can take this particular table name. Next, what we can do, we can write a where condition where LG is equal to, I'll write a sub condition, take subquery. What is the subquery? Select max of LG from this particular table, right? And here we can close the subquery, right? Already closed it. And here we can write another one more condition. What is the condition? Year is equal to 2016. Right. If we execute this, again the same result, and it is correct. Is this subquery understandable, everyone? Simple subquery. So what we are doing, we are trying to find the maximum value. We are trying to use the where condition, and then we are able to find the respective values for those columns. Right? Easy. Now, one more approach. Someone said we can use window function. Now, what we can do with window function is just the same approach. Okay. So just to make it easy, I'll use something called CTE here. I'll write with CTE as, right. So we can write a query. What is that? Select QB as quarterback, comma, LG as longest throw, right? And we can take one more column. I'll take it as dense rank. Okay. Over what would be my order by? Anyone? LG, right?
LG.
in descending order. Okay, I'll call it as something called ranking. Okay, so this is from which table? From this particular table, right? So I hope this internal query is understandable. If you want to further, write one more condition, what is the one more condition? Where year is equal to 2016. So this thing will give you appropriate ranking here. Okay. Now from this particular table, we can write a simple select clause, right? What we want? Select QB, or you can say quarterback, comma, longest throw from which? From CTE, right? Where
The ranking equals
ranking is
1.
equal to 1. Here we need to put underscore, right? If I execute this, 90, same output. Is it understandable, everyone? Using CT and the window function.
Yes.
Yes. Others, can I get a quick yes?
Yes.
Okay. So there is one more question from Amazon. Okay. So here what we want, there is this particular table. Okay, I'll show you that. There is some created at date, purchase amount, and some user IDs. So there is this typical question where we want to find 3-month rolling average of total revenue from the purchases given from the table. Their purchase amount is there and date purchased is there, right? They mentioned do not include returns which are represented by negative purchase values. So there are some negative purchase values, right? So do not include them. Okay. Output will a value must have year, month, and 3-month rolling average of revenue should be there. Sorted from earliest month to latest month. Okay. So I have a tip. 3-month rolling average means you'll be taking the current month as well as previous 2 months, right? That is what we call three month rolling average, right? So first 2 months we don't have that rolling average because data will not be present, right? Next, we'll assume that each month has at least one purchase. We'll assume that these are some things which you must by default understand. Now let us try to solve this problem. Any approach, anyone?
We will use lag function.
Okay, that is okay. Lag actually, of course, you can do that. You can make offset and do it. There is one more way, like there are multiple ways actually. We'll follow one more way using date difference. Okay, and
Okay.
also we will do some group by and some case and when statement. Using lag also you can try. Of course, I agree that, and you can use some window function also. Do you like? Are you guys aware how to use that rows between in window aggregation function? Okay, no
Yes, yes.
worries. If you are aware, I'll show you that method, and I'll show you this another method which will be easy for you. Between those two, like you can try use that lag and you can try it out. Okay, I'll tell two methods. You can try the other method. Even there could be even other methods. If you keep on trying, it'll be SQL is such beautiful where you just need to think how to write. You'll be keeping you'll get more answers, as many answers as you want. Okay, so all right, what I'll write is I'll write a CT where I'll calculate the monthly revenue. I'll write monthly revenue as okay. So here what I can write, I can create a table. Okay, so where I'll try to I need to bring year month, right? Can anyone tell me how to bring year month?
Date format using.
So instead, so I can write select something called format, not date format. It is format. Okay. So what I'll write, I'll take this created at column, created underscore at comma. In single quotes, I can put YYYY mm, right? And I can call it as year month, right? This is my one column. And another condition, wherever my purchase amount is greater than 0, I want purchase amount, else I want 0 and I wanted to aggregate it. So how can I write that? I'll write some. Within that, I can write case when statement. Case when my purchase amount, right, is greater than 0, then I want purchase amount, right? Else I want 0, and I can end the case statement, right? Am I correct? Case and when statement. Let us call that particular case and when statement where we are aggregating that. We'll give some name called total revenue. Okay, we'll call it as total revenue. From which table? Amazon purchases. Okay, so since we use the aggregation function, what do we want to use? What do we need to use? Anyone?
Group by
Group by. Group by what?
year month.
Year month. This complete thing you have to select. You cannot use that year month, right? Because
Yes.
you guys know the order of execution, right? It will be different.
One
So we
doubt
can
here. Inside city, can we use group by?
inside city means
Inside city, can we use group by?
okay. You can use
Mm-hmm.
order by. You can't use. You can use group by. Okay, you can see this. Okay.
Okay.
So I hope this is clear, right? Year month wise, we got the total revenue. Wherever our purchase amount is greater than 0, only those things we have taken. Right? I
So,
hope it is clear.
so
Yes,
the
yes.
earliest we can use only in order by, right?
Sorry, sorry.
The earliest the year month, we can use it only in order by, right? In otherwise, we will have to use expression, complete expression. If you're using like group by or any other over there, we will have to use the expression.
So order of execution is after group by you'll get, you'll be having and select and then order by top and all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are trying to use this year month within this group by, the select clause will be executed after group by executes. So it won't be able to recognize it priorly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you should not use like that. Like you can understand order of execution. Order of writing a query is select, from where group by having, and then you'll be able to get right other order by and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
But order of execution is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is where it differs. So here, I hope you are able to understand this particular city where we have year, month, and total revenue. Now using this monthly revenue, what I'll do is I'll try to create rolling average revenue. Okay, in a different way, you can see how it happens. So I'll write something called rolling average. I'll write as. Here I can write select. Okay, and I can write MR. Okay, let me take that year month column. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll join the same table multiple times so that I can use it based upon the necessary condition which I want. Okay. For example, I'll write like this, where I'll take this as monthly revenue is the right. MR1 year month. Okay, just give me a minute, guys. Hmm.
If you do self join here, then we can't able to pick the condition.
No, we can pick that. So using self join is also good method. Actually, I'll take that inner in year month. I'll take another values. Okay, I'll try to calculate average, right? You just understand this. I'll take it as MR2 total revenue. I'll explain you. Let me let me take the total revenue. I'll multiply it with 1.0 just to get the float values. Okay, decimal values if at all anything is missed. I'll call it as something called rolling average revenue. Okay, so okay, so this is my another column where I am trying to calculate average of rolling revenue. Now here you could understand what is the self join, right? First is monthly revenue, my CT1, right? My CT1, which is MR1. Okay, join, which is inner join. I can write monthly revenue. I'm trying to inner join the like name it as MR2, right? On what condition I'll tell you. If you understand this, what I'll do, I'll take date def, right? I'll take month. Here I'll take, like, if you see these parameters, right? Here we are not here we are not able to see the parameters, right? But what you can do is I'll take month, right? Here I'll take MR2 dot year month. Okay, I can concatenate something like this. Okay, so then you'll be able to understand logic with what MR1 dot year month. Okay, so at the same time I'll concatenate this with 0 1. Okay, so this is my date difference. This must lie between somewhere between 0 and 2. Okay, so this kind of join, like it will, I know and I understand it will be difficult, but like you can gradually be able to do it. Okay, this is MR1 only, right? Okay, we'll try it out, no worries. Here we need to put a comma. Okay, and here we need to group by. What is group by? Anyone in group by what will write? MR1 dot year month. Okay, so once I execute, you'll be able to understand the output. This thing, it will take some, gradually you need to understand CT is to figure out the output. Now, what is the output, final output which I want? Year month, right? And this rolling revenue, whatever you will get, this particular rolling average revenue is there, right? If we want to round it, we can use round function. We can write rolling average revenue, right, to 2 decimals, okay, as rolling average revenue from which table? Rolling average CT, right? Order by ascending order we want, right? Year month. We'll execute and see if there are any mistakes. Okay. From line 132. What is okay? Here we should not have comma. Okay, you guys can see this, right? I hope you are able to understand what we did. First, we have tried to create like the total revenues, right? We are able to get the total revenues. Then what we did, we try to take that particular average values of that particular total revenue by doing the self join, and we called it as rolling revenue on the basis of date difference, right? And where it lies between 0 and 2, like the date difference, month differences will be there, right? So wherever the differences between 0 and 2 are there, it will try to join accord, do the inner join, and try to get the average of those but particular values actually. Okay, so here we can't run this because it is dependent on that. Maybe what you can do is you can just try, you can try with some data where you'll be able to put this thing as a subquery and you can try to execute. Okay, then you'll be able to figure out some easy method. And if you know that window function also, you can just create it easily. Okay, I'll just show you using the window function.
Here minus 01. Why you
That
done the
that
concatenate?
to make it to make it aligned with same thing. Okay, uh, how to explain? See, date difference function. I'll just show you. Then you'll understand. So date difference. You see, first is something called date part. Whatever you have, month, right? So what is start date? What is start date here? MR to year month, right? So what I did is monthly revenue. This thing is there, right? I suppose that I made it into two different tables.
Okay,
Okay,
can you pick one record, like the first record?
you can pick say month difference. In order to make it, like once you concatenate it, how to tell you, right?
Okay, in the first record you're picking the month, like let's say 01.
Mm, let me. Okay. I understand, but I'm thinking how to show you. The value will be incremented actually.
Mhm.
Okay, what you can do is you can just for now we'll like since we lack time, you can just like take a screenshot of it. You can go through it later. Like once you try to try to understand from your end. Otherwise, I'll explain you later. Not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, we'll understand this window function. Okay, using this is the alternate method. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll take the same CTE. This thing won't change, right? This thing, it is anyway useful. Okay, so where we are trying to get the year month, and suppose the total revenue, if you want to do that, let us do this thing. Okay, let us simply take sum of purchase amount. I'll call it as total revenue. From this particular table, group by this particular thing, we can write a where condition where my purchase amount greater than 0, right? This would also give me the right thing. Next, what I can do, this is my CTA, where I can call it as monthly revenue. I can write select year month, comma. I can write average of what? Total revenue, right? Multiplied by 1.0 to get that value in float values, right? In over class, can anyone tell me what should I order by? Year month. Okay, we can write something called rows between two preceding and what we can do,
Current row.
current row. Correct. What we call it as rolling average revenue, right? I hope you guys are familiar with this window function. We can simply use that from class with something called monthly revenue. Okay, right? So our problem is solved very easily by using windows function. You can see this query, right? I'll run the both queries. You'll be able to see the output.
Uh,
Sorry, I think both CTs at the same time we can't run.
Sir, one question. This uh,
Yes.
this clause which you are using, this current rows between, this is applicable in aggregate functions only, right? or it
Yes,
can
yes, only Windows aggregation functions
okay.
you'll be able to use it, because what it does is, as you mentioned this, there are three things. One is current row, one is
Hmm.
preceding rows, and one other is following rows. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you use rows between this keyword, you'll be able to use these things, and you'll be able to fetch the appropriate rows accordingly. And
Mm-hmm.
this whatever window function you provide, you'll be aggregating it, whether it is sum, whether it is average, or count, or min, or max.
Hmm.
Right. And what is the respective column? Order by or order by year month. Based upon this, your values, whatever you are taking this in the particular aggregation function, it will act.
Got it. Got it.
uh, right. So if you see this particular thing, it is same thing. Okay, same amount and details.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these
Mm-hmm.
values, they get rolled up. Like how
Mm-hmm.
initially this will be the same. Next, the current row and the previous rows, they'll be the average. Next,
Mm-hmm.
suppose you come to this row, the current row and the previous two rows, they'll be the they'll
Mm-hmm.
get the average done, and you'll be able to get the rolling average.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Similarly, if you go to the last row, current row, and also the previous two rows,
Hmm.
like that, you'll be able to get the
This is
three.
a better approach, sir. Yeah,
Huh,
much easier.
this is easily understandable approach. They
Yes.
here you need to have the self joins understanding. Little
I'm,
confusing thing.
I'm still not able to understand this cell joint, how it
It's
is
okay.
working.
Okay, it's okay. You can try to find alternate method. Even there can be more methods also. Okay, if you
Hmm.
just think about it, you can decode. Just allow me a minute, guys. Okay. For example, we have this particular table. Right. What is this table? Early sales. So I'll write this particular select. Suppose I want to find the week. What function can I use in SQL Server? Anyone? Anyone?
Weekday.
We'll use something called date part. Okay. So here I can type week, comma, from which column? Invoice date. Okay. I'll call it as something called week number, comma, and we'll use the aggregation, which is sum of quantity multiplied by price, or you can say unit price. Right. What we'll call it as? Total weekly sales. Right. From which table? Early sales. Where what is the dates which we have between January and February, right? I'll write where invoice date between 2023 01 and 2023 02 28. Okay. Group by. What is the group by? Anyone?
Date part week invoice date.
Good. Date part week invoice date. So what does this give us? Weekly sales. Okay. So of course, so this thing I'll include within some CTE. I'll call it as weekly sales, right? I hope this is clear. If you execute this, you'll be able to see the week number and the total weekly sales, right? I hope it is clear. Next, what we can do, we can create sales by day. Okay. So what I'll do, I can write sales by day as, okay, I'll write select. Uh, the week number, if you want, we can take the same thing, right? Suppose if I want to find the weekday, day of week, what I can do? What I can do if I want weekday? You can use the same thing. Instead of week, you can take weekday. From invoice date, we can call it as day of week, right? And next other things you can take it similarly. Right here, there is one change. There is one more change. What is that? Group by, we have to input two columns. One is week, this thing, another one is weekday. Okay. I hope it is understandable, right? Then what do we get? We'll get week number, day of week, and then we'll get the total weekly sales. Okay. So if you see the data is little different. If you see on the first, we have these two things. On the second, 8th, 15th, like this we have. Okay. So the day of week, it means the respective day, right? Okay. And what we can do, I'll close the parenthesis. This is our second CTA. Now we are at the end of our, are we at the end of our question? No, right? There is one more complex condition, which is this Monday, Sunday related thing. So for that, what we need to do is we need to like separate those and aggregate those values for the respective days. Okay. That would be little confusing for you, but you can understand if you are able to understand the case one. I'll just show you. You can take first and last day sales as, okay, this is another city where we are making it. And what I'll do, I'll write select. We can take week number. Okay, week again, writing it is not necessary. From this particular, using this particular city which we return in sales by day, we'll derive this. Okay, I'll take that sales by day table as alias name as yes, and then I'll take the week number. Okay, and I can put a comma. If there are any non-null values, only then what I want to do, aggregate. Okay, so for that, what we can use is we have this function as coalesce, where it will add that not null values. To add it, I'll use the sum, and to add it based upon a certain condition, I can write case when statement. Case when my day of week is equal to 2. Then I want daily sales. Okay, I'll end. Okay, so daily sales, this thing here we just mentioned in daily sales, weekly sales, right? By mistake, it is daily sales. Okay, so here if we want to write, if the day is equal to 2, we want daily sales, and otherwise end. Okay, and this coalesce function, if it is not null, like we can take it as 0, right? If it is null, we can take it as 0, as we can call it as Monday sales. Okay, and similarly, what we can do is we can use the same condition if it is 7. Okay, if it is
Is
7.
null, right? In coalesce.
Okay, so is null, you can try that, but again, Like this is a like this also you can use it.
Okay.
Like is null. Like I think I didn't use it. I think maybe there is if null, right? If null or is null.
No, E is null only. If it is null, then it will select 0.
Okay.
Coalesce means among all the
Not
listed.
not null values it will provide, but again we
Yeah.
are checking for only one value, right? So it won't be a problem. And one value at a time it will be checking, right? Okay, maybe you could try it out, but this is also a possible method. We can call it as Sunday sales. Okay, so here I can put a comma, and this thing from which table? From sales, this city, right? What is the city name which we give? Sales by day. Let it be. Okay, so from sales by day, what is the group by left? Group by, you can call it as S, right? Group by S dot week number. Right, now we are able to write the conditions. Okay, this is my weekly sales, this is my daily sales, and from the daily sales I'm able to aggregate that Monday sales and this thing separately, right? And this thing we won't be able to run it and show because it is a CTE, right? And you can write a subquery also, and you can try it out how the values appear. You'll be able to see. Now all what we want is to calculate the monthly sales percentage and sorry, Monday sales percentage and Sunday sales percentage. So for that, what we can do, can close the parenthesis. We can write select. Let us, this will join two tables, right? We'll join that, weekly sales table. Weekly sales table, we'll call it as WS. What will join? Will join this, first and last day sales. Why? Because we derived this from sales by day table, right? We'll call it as some F1 or something. Okay. So what we want from these two tables, I want from weekly sales, I want week number. Okay. And another thing which we want is, I want to calculate that, right? I can calculate a round of, okay, 100 into something called F1 dot Monday sales divided by WS dot total weekly sales, right? I can put a comma. I want to round it to 0 decimals, right? What I'll call this as Monday sales percentage. Okay. Similarly, what I can do, I can create it for Sunday sales. So here what I can do is I can write Sunday, and the same thing here we can write Sunday sales percentage, right? And we have this from weekly sales, right? Weekly sales only, right? Weekly sales join first and last day sales F1 on what condition? WS dot week number is equal to F1 dot week number. They both have week number as common columns, right? Order by WS dot week number, right? So I understand there must be this thing. Okay, we'll execute and see. So this is the final output. Okay. So of course this is not wrong. The data is like that, so it is able to show like that, but the output is correct. Okay. So you can see the data. This is our data which we had, and what we want the percentage of weekly sales on the first and last day of every week. Okay. So That is how we are able to calculate the percentages, because the data is like that. We are able to get such results. Okay, you can try it out. Once you start playing with the data, I could say data related functions, then you'll be able to understand. Here it is easy only. Okay, week number and only the total weekly sales we found. It is week number and this is a kind of day of week. Okay, wherever it is 2, we are taking it as Monday sales, and then other thing we are making this Sunday sales, right? Okay, here it is 1, not 2. Then I think value will change, right? Okay, so this is the sales percentage. Okay, so there might be some issue, but again, this is how we can calculate. Is it understandable, everyone? Can I get a quick yes if it is understandable?
Yes.
Yes. So I'll move on to the last query for today. So this is a DoorDash company question where we have certain data, okay, where we have
So for
consumer
every
ID.
query, you're using the CTE. Like, is there any specific this thing? Only we need to use CTE.
CT makes your query more readable, okay,
Okay.
and there is no specific reason. But again, if you are able to use, if you are able to solve it by using subquery or any other method or anything, it is absolutely fine.
Mhm.
CT
Okay.
will try to make your query more readable, maintain it in future, and it will be little user friendly,
So
right? And
what
also
about on the
and also
performance side? Like,
performance side, always for ad hoc queries or for a speed request or like very good performance, you have to use subqueries. But at the same time, what happens is when you use this particular CTEs, initially it will take time and some time to process. Okay, after that, what happens is that particular output, it will be stored in your cache, memory cache or something within SQL server. Later, after that, if you are going to do the same query again on repeated mode, then your performance, then CT in such conditions, CTs also will be good.
okay, got it.
Okay, so like both has its own advantages and disadvantages. If you want a very, if you are having some ad hoc queries, then CTs doesn't perform good.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so let us understand this question where there is some data where we have some consumer ID, some customer placed time, delivered region, and some other relevant information. Okay, so what we want is calculate average net earnings per order grouped by the weekday. Okay, weekday and hour from customer placed order time. So this is our customer placed order time. So from that particular placed order time, whatever we have that net earnings, what are net earnings? Order total, tip amount minus discount amount and refunded amount. This also they have given, okay, round it to 2 decimals. So what should be our approach? We need to extract the weekday name and extract the hour, and then we have to get the average and group by, right? So let us try to do that. Can anyone tell me how to get the weekday?
In date format.
That also we can use. We,
Good
we
one.
can use date name function also. Right. Date part also we can use. Date name also we can use. So just to make it familiar for you, I'll use date name, weekday, customer placed, order, date time as, I'll call it as weekday. Okay. So here I'll take it date part, hour. Here we can take it as hour, and we can use the same column. Okay. So what we'll get? We'll get the hour. Right. We can call it as order hour. Okay, so another thing which we want to do is we want to calculate that amount, right? What average amount we want to calculate. I'll write a round function, right? Average of, you can see average net earnings we want, okay? Average of all these columns, order, total, all these things. I'll this, just put it same. All these columns, I can close it. I wanted to round it to 2 decimals. Okay. So that is why I used round function to round it to 2 decimals. What I can call this column? Average earnings. Right. I hope it is not complex. And simple, right? Simple calculation. From which table? From DoorDash delivery. Okay. Anything left to use?
Group by.
Good. So don't forget to do group by. Group by what columns? 2 columns.
2 columns.
Right. So you can remove these things. Not required. Okay. Put a comma like this. Okay. Or else you can keep it like this. Group by these 2 columns. Next, they have given, you can see, okay, let us do one thing to make it appear proper. I'll write order by weekday, comma, order hour. Okay, that will make it appear the query well. Now you can see this date name, it is our weekdays. Okay, this is our order hours. Okay, and this is our average earnings. Right, all the distinct values will be able to get, and average net earnings it will be able to calculate. It is easy only, right? Any doubt in this particular query? Anyone? Okay, so from my end, this is all for today. We have practiced around 5 questions by understanding different data and data sets, right? And please try to practice different queries so that you can get acquainted and get confidence. Okay, thank you everyone.